say I wasn't there for you.
Not that Bad Boys.
Yeah, bootleg beer. Just love it.
The Bad Boys that I'm talking about is the 1983 gritty crime drama starring Sean Penn. A dark, unflinching, violent, and prophetic story about the rise of teen crime and the destiny of fatherless boys. The cautionary tale is told through the character arc of Mick O'Brien, played impressively by Sean Penn. Say Bad Boys today, and people think Will Smith. But this Bad Boys deserves some spotlight. So,
are you sure they won't know who we are? Not if you do what I say. Jesus.
Don't be such a p***. We're gonna be in out of there so fast. You're not gonna have to use that. Like that.
So, what's the story? Mick is a troubled teen, living with his deadbeat mom, who ignores him to play thirst games, leaving Mick to play guitar, chill with his girl, and plan robberies. Mick's neighborhood rival, Paco, is also doing dirt and has a taste for Mick's girl. When their paths cross one fateful night, Mick quickly learns that crime don't pay. Unless you live in California. From this point on, Bad Boys becomes a top-tier juvie prison movie. Gritty, dirty, frightening, and sad. The violence feels grounded, threatening, Scorsese-esque, serving as a warning for would-be criminals. But more importantly, an indictment on America for the state of its youth. And this was 1983. Mick is forced into the harsh reality of life on the inside when he's confronted by the prison bully, Viking, played by a very young Clancy Brown. Viking and his sidekick, Tweety, push Mick to his limits, providing Bad Boy with his most gangster and infamous scene. Now, I won't spoil it here. But all I can say is Pepsi cans, plural. Bad Boy's most brutal scene occurs when Paco, still on the outside, plots his revenge against Mick. And yeah, I'm purposely avoiding details for spoilers' sake. But Paco makes Mick's life a living hell on the inside and the outside.
Take that!
Much of the narrative communicates themes of real manhood, as boys use violence and rebellion to project masculinity, compensating for a lack of security, father figures, and education. In one of Bad Boy's sadder scenes, a warden discovers the boys are illiterate when they can't read a news article about the death of a former inmate who returned to a life of crime.
Loughlin.
Oh.
All right, O'Brien, you try.
Come on, Mick.
The dominant from
You don't know.
more.
Suppose you know.
Hey, look, this is nothing to laugh at. Now, maybe if some of you could read, you wouldn't be in here. You ever think about that?
All of these boys have committed either violent or adult crimes, yet the solution is teaching them to read with comic books, which are typically associated with children. The contrasting ideals brilliantly communicate the loss of innocence and the hopelessly daunting task of their rehabilitation. Typically, this is where I transition to bad, but with this film, I can't really transition to bad, but I just have a few critiques. The blistering pace of the first act world building thrusts the viewer right into the reality of the story. However, due to this pace, there's a lack of development for Mick and his girlfriend's relationship. In my opinion, this weakens the emotional connection for the audience and the effect of third act events. Other than that, we good. Final verdict, Bad Boys is a poignant and disturbing look into the lives of troubled youth. A solid, criminally undersung drama led by Sean Penn, stealing the show with an outstanding performance of conflicting emotion. The violence is weighted with consequences presented in a style that don't allow the audience to absorb it before the film moves on, turning the audience from mere spectators to witnesses. The film has a message without being preachy or offering some cringy after-school special solutions. Rather, it simply presents a reality that for many of us isn't our own, allowing the privilege of turning a blind eye. As much as I've made Bad Boys sound dark and depressing, there is levity, but overall, it's an distinct brand of Hollywood where films provoke thought while entertaining at the same time. And that's it. That is my review for 1983's Bad Boys, starring Sean Penn. The channel is Phil For Real, the show is Bootleg Theater, and I hope to see you next time with either another hidden gem or So Bad It's Good movie.